Today I am being asked to speak on about Radhastami because September 3rd, Saturday, we will be celebrating about Radhastami. Try to understand. I am not at all qualified to speak on this highly elevated subject matter. So, since I have been asked, I'll try to speak something which I heard from Srila Prabhupada and Guru Varga of Iskcon. So, first we'll sing Jai Radha Madhava, then we'll have Mangalacharan, and then Radhe Jai Jai Madhava Daite, and then we'll try to understand Tattva. Srila Prabhupada's standard format is understand Tattva before you go to any pastime. We'll try to see some pastime, and then I think we will have question answer. So that will be the format. I think many newcomers are there. Thank you all for joining today for Sunday Feast class. Srila Prabhupada will give his blessings to all of you. Please chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
ओम तत्सत् एवं विष्णुपाद परमहंस पर विराज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमती श्रीवेंकटेश्वरी भक्ति वेदांत सुखोपाद की जाए। एवं विष्णुपाद परमहंस पर विराज काचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमती श्रीवेंकटेश्वरी भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जाए। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जाए। हमाचार्य श्रीदास ठाकुर की जाए। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जाए। श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जाए। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जाए। नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जाए। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जाए। गंगामयी यमुनामयी की जाए। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जाए। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जाए। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाए। पिता गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to assemble devotees. All glories to assemble devotees. All glories to assemble devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Prabhupada की जय। इष्टपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नाम नमस्ते सारस्वत देवे गौरवाणी प्रचार निर्विशेष शून्यवाद पाश्चात्य So we'll begin with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। श्री रूप गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तों की जय। So Radhastami Mahamahotsav ki jai in advance. So we'll try to understand about Srimati Radharani's glories. So as we hear from Srila Prabhupada about Srimati Radharani, hardly Srila Prabhupada spoke, very few occasions. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, you will not see much words about Srimati Radharani. There is no verse indirectly. But there is indirectly, there are few verses in Bhagavad Gita itself about Srimati Radharani. One is from 9th chapter, most confidential knowledge, we see that. And then one is from 4th chapter, 9th chapter, we see verse number 13. Mahatmanastu mam parda daivim prakritamasraya. So, Mahatmanastu mam parda daivim prakritamasraya. Bhajanti ananya manaso gnatva bhutadim. So, great devotees of the Lord take shelter of the Supreme Lord and his representatives. Same way, if you want to give up this raga, bhaya, and krodha, illusion, attachment, fear, then you must take shelter of Supreme Lord. But you cannot take directly shelter. Veta raga, bhaya, krodha, manmaya, mam, upasrita, bahavo, gnana, tapasa, potam, adbhavam. Prabhupada in one of the class, out of 4 classes he gave on Radhastami, one class is referring to this verse. One must take shelter of his representative, especially Srimati Radharani, and his representative are all the gurus, spiritual masters. Today we see Srila Prabhupada and his disciples, Iskcon Guru Varga. We must take shelter of them. So who represents, who offers everything back to, all the way goes back to Srimati Radharani, and she offers back to Srila Prabhupada. So if Krishna wants to enjoy, whom he will enjoy with? You will enjoy with the material world. You will enjoy with anything of the material property. No. Let's understand from the Svetasvatara Upanishad. Prabhupada quotes this verse many times. What is it? Parasya Siktir Vividaiva Sruyate Swabhavaki Gnana Bala Kriyacha. Na tasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Na tat samasta adhikasya drusyate. Lord Krishna has many energies. Out of that, predominantly categorized into 3 principal energies. One is the Samvit, which is Sat energy, existential, and then Sandhini, Chit potency, and then Hladini. So, Hladini means pleasure potency. So, Srimati Radharani belongs to this pleasure potency of the Lord. So, these 3 ways in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, great detail describing about Srimati Radharani by quoting from, not directly, he is not quoting directly. In Bhagavad Gita, you will not find about Srimati Radharani directly, as I mentioned. In Srimad Bhagavatam itself also, you will not find any verse directly. 10.30.28 verse, there is a indirect reference because Sukadeva Goswami, who is speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam, cannot directly mention, then he will go in trance and ecstasy, then he cannot speak Srimad Bhagavatam, he cannot finish Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why he speaks, mentions indirectly. Anaya aradhyate. So aradhana, word, Srimad Radharani verse is, word is coming from aradhana, worship, who is the topmost worshipper. So the Srimad Bhagavatam also. Now, actual glories of Srimad Radharani is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is a PhD subject matter. That's why, other than Radhastami Day, generally we don't try to discuss about Srimati Radharani. Who are we? We are not qualified to understand the highest. is that the Madhurya Rasa, the most highly elevated subject matter. Not even we are in the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, but it's very difficult to understand. But we understand in the form of her mercy, when we are chanting Hare in the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is internal energy of the Lord. We understand the mercy of her in the form of spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada. So that way we understand, but directly discussing the most confidential pastimes, as Srila Prabhupada quotes Narottam Das Thakur, great Acharya in our line, as he mentions, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haipe Akuti, Bhuje Bhaje Yugala Preeti. You cannot understand Radha Krishna's pastime, loving affairs with our mundane scholarship, or logic, or argument. With any of this, we cannot understand. Only way you can understand is by through Rupa Goswami, six Goswami, through Acharya Parampara, you can understand little bit about Srimati Radharani. So that's why we generally, it's not good to discuss about Srimati Radharani specifically on regularly basis, unless we are qualified. It is a confidential subject matter. We'll only see the discussion in Chaitanya Charitamrita elaborately about Srimati Radharani in chapter 4 of Adilila. So many verses. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is quoting Swarup Damodar Goswami, who is none other than Vishaka Saki, who is the confidential associate of Srimati Radharani. He is quoting him and speaking all these verses from his diary. So that's how we understand. You can understand the elevated subject matter of this Srimati Radharani's Tattva. Now, from Chaitanya Charitamrita, we understand. Before that, we will sing one song which describes how the four Kumaras described both Srimati Radharani's glories, and then we'll try to go in detail. Then we can play harmony. We can. राधे जय जय माधव दैते राधे जय जय माधव दैते दामोदर रति वर्धन वेशे राधे जय जय माधव दैते राधे जय जय माधव दैते गोकुल तरुणी मंडल महिते गोकुल तरुणी मंडल महिते राधे जय जय माधव दैते दामोदर रति वर्धन वेशे दामोदर रति वर्धन वेशे हरिणे स्कृत वृंदा विपिने से हरिणे स्कृत वृंदा विपिने से राधे जय जय माधव दैते राधे जय जय माधव दैते गोकुल तरुणी मंडल महिते गोकुल तरुणी मंडल महिते राधे जय जय माधव दैते शबानुदादी नवशशि लेखे शबानुदादी नवशशि लेखे ललित सखी गुण रमित विशाखी ललित सखी गुण रमित विशाखी राधे जय जय माधव दैते राधे जय जय माधव दैते करुणां कुरु मयि करुणाभरीते करुणां कुरु मयि करुणाभरीते सनक सनातन वनीत चरीते सनक सनातन वनीत चरीते राधे जय जय माधव दैते राधे जय जय माधव दैते राधे जय जय माधव दैते Shri Radhastami Jai. We'll try to understand from Srimad Bhagavatam. There is a verse which is quoted by Sri Sukadeva Goswami, 10 canto, chapter number 30, verse number 28. Yeah. Anaya aradito nunam Bhagavan Harir Iswara Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yam Anayadraha. Where it is explained, certainly this particular gopi has perfectly worshipped the all-powerful personality of Godhead, Govinda, since he was so pleased with her that he abandoned the rest of us and brought her to a secluded place. And Sri Prabhupada quotes Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explaining about Aradhita refers to Srimati Radharani. He comments, the sage Sukadeva Goswami tried with all endeavor to keep her name hidden, but now it is automatically shines forth from the moon of his mouth that he has spoken. Her name is indeed her mercy. And thus the word Aradhita is like the rumbling of kettle drums sounded to announce her great good fortune. Although the gopis spoke as if jealous of Srimati Radharani, they were actually ecstatic to see that she had captured Sri Krishna. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes the following detailed description of Srimati Radharani footprints as given by Sri Rupa Goswami in his Sri Ujjwala Neelamani. At the base of the large toe or left foot is the mark of a barley corn. Below that mark is a disc. Below the disc is umbrella, and below the umbrella is a bracelet. A vertical line extends from the middle of your foot to the juncture of her large and second toes. At the base of the middle toe is a lotus. Below that is a flag with a banner, and below the flag is a creeper, together with a flower at the base of her small toe is an elephant goat, and upon her heel is a half moon. Thus, there are 11 marks on her left foot. At the base of the large toe of her right foot is a conch shell, and below that a spear. At the base of the small toe of her right foot is a sacrificial altar. Below that, an earring, and below the earring is a club. Along the base of the second, third, fourth small toes is the mark of a mountain, below which is a chariot, on the heel is a fish. Thus, altogether, there are 19 distinguishing marks on the soles of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. And so, this is the description we see in Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, when you refer to Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. First of all, let's understand from the beginning about Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, how Srimad Radharani appeared in the spiritual world and in the material world. It's very, very interesting about Supreme Lord Sri Krishna's birth itself. In no other form, anywhere, you'll see that Lord taken simultaneous birth at the same time. One has in the Vishnu full four-handed form with all the jewels and everything to Devaki and Vasudev. At the same time, he is appearing to Nanda and Yashoda at the exact same time. Nanda and Yashoda in Shyamasundar Krishna form. And then Vasudeva Krishna from Devaki was merging into Shyamasundar Krishna of Nanda and Yashoda. This is the most astonishing. In any other form, you will not see Lord's appearance in this way. Simultaneous two places, one in different on reference, one in a more of a very, very confidential, very, very deep, loving way. Shyamsundar Krishna is the most highest form. No on difference is mixed. It is not Mr. Bhakti. It is pure love. It is complete Vatsalya Ras and Madhur Ras. So that is the form. Lord is taking simultaneously for two different personalities, Devaki and Vasudeva, Nanda and Yashoda, because they are two different levels. Now let's look at the Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is born also is astonishing. Is not born from anybody's womb. She is born out of a uh, Vrishabhanu, who is the father of Srimad Radharani, and mother is Kirtida Sundari. So both of them did lot of penance, and they found and they went to Raval in Vrindavan. There are two places, Barsana and Raval. Raval is the place now. I think not many devotees might be going there, but Raval is the place where Rishabhanu Maharaj found Srimad Radharani while he went to take bath in Yamuna. Some says while plowing, he found a beautiful jewel ornament, big box, and that in that you'll see. But many places it is mentioned he found in a lotus, big lotus flower, and then shining like anything. Then there Srimati Radharani was found, but she was blind because the reason goes back all the way in Vrindavan past times. Radha and Krishna, first of all, understand from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radha Krishna Pranaya Vrikriti Ahladani Siktir Ekatmana Bhuvi Deha Vedo Gatauto Chekyam Apyam Maduna Dvi Radha Bhava Sulitam Naomi Krishna Surupam. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, chapter 1, verse number 5. Radha and Krishna's pastimes are explained. Initially, Krishna is one. Krishna, in order to enjoy the rasa, whom you will enjoy with? Not any of material, spiritual. So that's why Krishna himself expanded into Srimati Radharani. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vrikriti. Who is Radharani? Chaitanya Charitamrita explains Pranaya Vrikriti, transformation of love. She is not of any of this material love. You will not find in this material world. She is the internal potency of the Lord, Hladini potency, Hladini Shakti, pleasure potency. So Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti. That Pranaya Vikriti means transformation of love. When we understand the Tattva, there are many Tattvas, but broadly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching Rupa Goswami and Chaitanya Charitamrita, three Tattvas. Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Rasa Tattva. These are three broad categories. Krishna Tattva, understanding Krishna's appearance, his form, his incarnation, whole 9 yards of Krishna. The second is Bhakti Tattva, understanding what is devotion service. You can offer yesterday we discussed in Gita class. You can offer worship to anybody, demigods and many other people, fathers, forefathers, superiors. But the love and especially love, faithful and sincere love is only offered to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. worship anybody. Bhaj is used for love, not for worship. Worshipping, you can worship anybody else, but it is considered love. Specifically, Bhaj word is used in chapter 6, 47 verse, Yoginam Sarvesham and Maya Saktamah. These verses, Prabhupada is explaining about this word, usage of bird, Bhaj, with love and affection. So Radha Krishna Pranay Vikriti Ahladini Shakti. So when Param Brahma wants to enjoy this, he expands as Krishna expands as Srimad Radharani. Chaityam Akyam Aduna. So initially one separated into two and then again combined into one as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is none other than Radha and Krishna together. So Krishna separated into Radha and Krishna eternally to enjoy the rasa. Why is he creating all the living entities? That is also because rasa always he wants to enjoy rasa. So many people more rasa. Why we want friends? Why we want family members, kids? Rasa enjoyment mentality that is there from rasa always Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. But he is not enjoying with anything material. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pradibhavita Vistavirya Eva Nicharopataya Kalavi Goloka Eva Nivasa Dakilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Krishnamaya. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. So that's why he is mentioned Chaitanya Charitamrita again. Sadam se Sandini, Chidam se Samvit, Anandam se Hladini. These are the three potencies. One is existential potency, one is the knowledge potency, one is the pleasure potency. The pleasure potency is Srimad Radharani. All the three main categories of pleasure potency, the internal energy as per pleasure potency, the female counterparts, Lakshmis are coming from Srimad Radharani. Second category coming is Mahishis, queens of Dwaraka, are coming from Srimad Radharani. Third category, expansion of Kaya Vyuha, body of herself, or Srimad Radharani from her body expansion, Kaya Vyuha. That is not nothing but all the gopis of Vrindavan, Raja gopis, Raja, Rajangana. There is a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita where this is quoted exactly. These three kinds of Lakshmis are being described. So in this way, we can understand when Lord wants to enjoy, he is enjoying with the pleasure potency. That Samvit potency belongs to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, existential potency. Sandini belongs to Lord Balaram, Nityananda Balaram. You will see leftmost on the altar, Nityananda Balaram. So he is so Radharani Tattva and Guru Tattva, Nityananda Balaram, both are giving the mercy through all the spiritual masters. So both are almost at the same level. Both we need their mercy. Without their mercy, and you need mercy of Guru and Krishna. Again, you go back to Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is explained. Tate Krishna bhaje Guru or Sevan. Maya jala chute paye Krishna charan. If you want to come out of this three modes of material nature, if you want to come out of these miseries, three modes of material, three tapatraya, adi atma, adi bhauya, adi daivika, then you have to take shelter of Krishna. Simultaneously, you have to worship Guru and serve Guru. Without that, there is no possibility of transcending the modes. Charitamrita explains, Lord Krishna has explained Gita also. Daivi Esha Gunamai verse also, same thing. Mam Upasrita, earlier we were discussing. That is all same thing. Shelter of represented Supreme Lord. You cannot take shelter of yourself. We are not qualified. We don't have that. Otherwise, why we are suffering? So that's why we must take shelter. So that's why in this verse is explained Radha Krishna Pranay Vikriti Ahladini Ekatmana Bhuvi. Initially one separated into two, Radha and Krishna. Then again combined into one. To taste three confidential matters. To understand the Srimad Radharani's position, to taste the sweetness, and then Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva I mentioned. The third one is Rasa Tattva. Transformation of love, Pranay Vikriti, that is nothing but this Bhava. The Mahabhava Swarupani, Srimati Radha Thakurani. There is a one verse, Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. Mahabhava Swarupani Sri Radha Thakurani, Sarva Guna Kani Krishna Kanti Siromani. So that is, she is the highest epitome, crest jewel, Sarva Kanti Siromani. Sarva Lakshmi Mai Sri Radha. Anaya Aradhyate iti Radha. All these are various definitions quoted. This is also explained. Now, one my question. You are talking about Radha and Krishna. When did they get married? Where is it? No, it is explained. Everything is explained. First of all, these questions shouldn't be asked in the beginning stage. When we are at that level, then we can ask those questions. Because we don't scrutinizingly read, then we come up with all questions. Why did Radharani marry Abhimanyu? Are we at that level? No. But we have all these questions because we hear from all sources, but not bona fide sources. That's where the problem comes. So that's why Acharya has explained. There are two situations we have to consider. From Garga Samhita refers to Gargacharya is explaining Radha and Krishna married, specifically quoting, where initially when they are child 1 year old itself, there was a big sand dune, sand, like a big rain thunderstorm, like that sandstorm you can say. At that time, Nanda and Yashoda one said, and Srimati Radharani and Krishna. Radharani also transformed herself. Both are child, but they transformed themselves into youth. They got married. Then, when the sandstorm is over, then again they transformed back into baby, small child. By that, Nanda and Yashoda came. This is one explanation given in Garga Samhita. Another explanation is given that when Brahma Vimohan Leela happened, when Lord Brahma stole all the cows and cowherd boys and everyone, then Lord Krishna also expanded as Gopas, Gopis, and all cows and everything. In that, one of the Gopa is also Abhimanyu. He expanded also as Abhimanyu Gopa, and he married Radharani. That also there is one explanation is been given. But before there is another pastime going back to Vrindavan, which is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Rupa Goswami. In Vrindavan, where we see we are discussing, Srimati Radharani has so many gopis in Vrindavan. In Golok Vrindavan itself, there are so many gopis, as we sing in Mangalarti and Mangala Sringar Arti at 7:30 or 7 o'clock in many temples. So where we sing that Chintamani Prakara Sadmasu Kalpuruksha Lakshavrite Surabhir Abhipala Lakshmi Sahasra Satasambrama Seviman. So many Lakshmis. Same way, this is Lakshmi. There are so many gopis, billions of gopis in Vrindavan, in Golok Vrindavan. So one pastime happened that I think many of our Gaudiya Vaishnavas or Acharya Prabhupada's disciples has explained this, where one of the gopis is Viraja. Viraja river, we know. Crossing the material world, spiritual world, there is a river called Viraja river. So that Viraja is a gopi. Viraja gopi, one time Lord Krishna went to Viraja gopi. So that time, and then he was performing pastimes. Then Srimad Radharani found out Sudama was there as a bodyguard outside, so not to allow anybody. Sudama is a very close friend, Sakyaras. So that time Srimad Radharani came and found out. Then Lord Krishna understood, oh, something is going on. He heard some sounds, some arguments from the outside itself, from the entrance. Then immediately he left that arena, he changed, and then Viraja also understood. Viraja changed it to river. Gopi transformed into river, big river, throughout Golok Vrindavan, whole 86 crores of miles or whatever the distance been given. So in that, then Radharani left from there. Then Lord Krishna went back to meet Srimati Radharani. Then she didn't allow. No, you don't want me. So then she criticized and she argued. Then Sudama didn't. Sridham, I think, not Sudham. Sridham. So he didn't like this criticizing or argument, talking about bad about Lord Krishna. So then he cursed Srimati Radharani. While this argument is going on, then she cursed Sudham, you become a demon. So this Sudama became, not Sudama again, Sridham. Sridham became a demon. So Lord Krishna heard after that. Then Sridham also cursed Radharani. You will also be come down to the material world for 100 years. So in this both cursed. Then Lord Krishna heard what has happened. Then both are lamenting what to do. Then he said, all right, it is my pastime, so don't worry, we'll come back soon. So that Sudama or Sridham, sorry, Sridham is appeared as a demon Sankachoda for a few years, and then later on as again a cohort boy. Then Srimati Radharani coming to Vrindavan. This is one pastime. You'll see that. And again, they did tapasya, as we are hearing. They are very interrelated. As Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Kirtida Sundari both did also tapasya to get a get daughter or son. So in this way, her daughter, Lord Brahma appeared at that time. So she is a divine child. You are very blessed. You take the child back. She was blind. So then Narada Muni, we all know that story. Narada Muni comes and tells, and then Yashoda Mai, Nanda and Yashoda comes after a week or so. Exactly 2 weeks after Lord Krishna is born, Srimati Radharani is born. There is a actual age is being given in the scriptures. 14 years something is Srimati Radharani's eternal age, and then Lord Krishna's age is also given as 15 years something. Nava Yavanancha, their age never changes. They are always youthful. Nava Yavanancha, Vedeshu Dullam Adullam Atma Bhakto, Govindamadi, Purusham Tamaham Bhajam. And so in this way, their birth, that's why Srimad Radharani appeared and also married again Swakya and Parakya Ras. In that way also you can understand why Srimati Radharani seemingly married Abhimanyu. So, but Abhimanyu never had any relationship physically, any relationship. And you will see Iskcon Guru Varga explaining in Radhayatra pastime, there are two pastimes of Radhayatra, Lord Jagannath's pastimes. One pastime at the end, you will see that Lord Balaram, Lord Balaram goes first, then Subhadra Maharani, then Lord Krishna goes, the chariot goes. So after all of them goes, reach Vrindavan, then there is a pastime of everybody coming to Srimad Radharani and submitting one by one. Chandravali, Abhimanyu, Jatila, Kutila, everybody offering obeisances, touching Srimad Radharani, begging forgiveness. This is at the end of that pastime. So in all these ways, you can understand nothing of the material aspects. When you hear, when you read that Srimad Radharani and Abhimanyu is married. So Radha and Krishna, many other sampradayas may question. You will have to refer this Garga Samhita and explain. Radha and Krishna are one in the beginning. So they are eternally separated. So without understanding, don't even ask these questions. So you should refer, consult bona fide acharya, then you ask this question. So, so this at least we should have this understanding why this incident taken place. So with proper scriptural knowledge. Now let's understand more from Chaitanya Charitamrita about Radharani's position, and also in next of instruction we see 7:15. Maybe we will end in few minutes. May I take questions. So from Chaitanya Charitamrita we will read verse number 18 from chapter 4. कृष्ण वांछा पूर्ति रूप करे आराधने अतैव राधिका नाम पुराणे वाकाने. Her worship aradhana consists of fulfilling desires of Lord Krishna. Our only business is fulfilling desires of Lord Krishna. That's why it's called Krishna Vancha Purti Rupa Kare Aradhane. That's why Aradhana word is used. And she is also born on Anuradha star. From that also Acharya explained Radha word is used. She is born on Anuradha star in Bhadra month. So on the 8th day, Ashtami day. So that's where Radhastami. All these aspects are mentioned. Radhika Nama Purane Vakane. And we also see that in the further in the that Srimad Radharani, verse number 82, also gives explanation that Govindanandani Radha, Govinda Mohini Radha, Govinda Sarvasva Radha, Sarvakanta Siromani Radha. So Radharani, who gives pleasure to Govinda, who mystifies and enchantress Govinda, be all and end all of Govinda. She is the crown jewel of Govinda. Sarva Lakshmi Mayi, Sarvakanti Siromani Para. She is the expansion of all, she is the topmost, and from her all the Lakshmis, all the queens, all the gopis are expanding. So Govinda Nandini Radha, Govinda Mohini, Govinda Sarvasva, Sarvakanta Siromani. So Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter 4 all the way from 70 verse number 70 or so to 89 explaining about this very detailed position of Srimati Radharani. We will also see from Padma Puran, 7th and 20th chapter, Bhumikanda. यथा राधा प्रिया विष्णु तस्य कुंडम प्रियम तथा सर्व गोपीषु Saivaika Vishnu or Atyanta Vallabha. Just as Radha is dear to Lord Krishna, her bathing place is dear to him. She alone is most beloved of all gopis. So, in so many places, this is explained about Srimati Radharani from Upanishads and different Puranas also explaining about this position of Srimati Radharani. So far, any questions devotees have? In one way to look at simplified way to look at is Lord Krishna is energy, Radharani is energetic, is the fire, then heat. So you can heat and light. So there is no fire, there is no heat. Wherever Krishna is there, Radharani is there. Wherever Radharani is there, Krishna is there. So that's why we don't worship separately. That's why Radha and Krishna together always, as we heard from Chaitanya Charitamrita directly from the lips of Sri Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Go ahead, Mohit. Yes.
Is it not understanding that Abhimanyu is also an extension of our that way?
Yes, Gopas, yes. That's what I mentioned. Yes.
Another question was you mentioned that when Lord Krishna appeared, he appeared simultaneously as Vishnu's form in lots of Lord Krishna.
Yeah.
Was it not especially that first he came as Lord Vishnu's form, then it transformed into the two-handed Krishna form?
No. It is simultaneously. This is explained in Gopal Champu by Jiva Goswami. Sri Gaur Govind Goswami Maharaj explains and many other Acharya or Guru Varga explains about this. Simultaneously. Vasudev Krishna expanded as born as four-handed form because that's what Devaki and Vasudev worshipped for 3 lifetimes. Lord appears in 3 different forms. She specifically Lord Krishna tells actually, in fact, to her because you wanted to see. You may doubt is this Lord appeared or somebody else. If ordinary child I appear, then you will not even know that Lord, I appeared. Lord myself I appeared. So that's why he himself appeared first four-handed form, showed, then he transformed. Then she asked, he may come and kill. Then he transformed, Lord transformed himself into ordinary child. But exactly at the same time, Nanda and Yashoda also had a baby. That is Lord Krishna, Shyamasundar Krishna, the topmost, highest level. So when Vasudev Krishna brought child, he didn't see because Yogamaya potency covered. She also had a baby, girl also, second, two, boy and a girl. She is sleeping, she doesn't know. Yashoda Maharani doesn't know that who is born, girl or boy. And Devaki and Vasudev also doesn't know because Yogamaya covered. At that time, he couldn't see be a boy. He only saw girl. So he saw the girl and he kept the boy and then girl. Then the boy Vasudeva Krishna merged into Shyamsundar Krishna. You only see Shyamsundar Krishna.
Yeah, I've heard this account. Where is it mentioned? Which scripture?
Gopal Champu by Sri Jiva Goswami. Yes. Yeah.
So my other part of the question was, did the same thing not happen when Lord Ram took birth? They also came back for and Vishnu's form, and then it transformed into two-handed Lord Ram. Yeah. Similar thing happened, right? Lord Ram.
But it is not simultaneously, he didn't appear like this. Means at least I haven't heard or seen a scriptural reference of any other form appearing simultaneously at same time in 2 different expansions, like
Yeah,
Lord
they are
Krishna's.
coming after as Vishnu form and then Lord Ram.
Yeah, that might be the case, but not simultaneously, both as Vasudeva Krishna and also Shyamasundar Krishna. So I haven't seen. That's why I had mentioned. This is my reflection. Okay, yeah, this is not put. Don't tell me that where did you find out. This is my reflection. So of Lord Krishna's supreme position. That's why you will not see in any form as you see the beautiful, most magnificent form, Rupa Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Leela Madhuri. All these you will not see in any other form. That Shastra is explaining. So on top of it, I mentioned this. That is my own reflection. So Srimad Radharani's appearance also like that, the divine appearance. So there are other incarnations appeared, maybe appeared, found like that, not born from. But again, as blind, only when Krishna came and touched, because that is the original assurance. Until that, she didn't want to come. She got assurance that only I want to see you only. I don't want to see anybody else. That's not my position. That's not my characteristic at all. She always wants to serve Lord Krishna only. That's her business. Always giving pleasure to Krishna. So that's why she wants to see Krishna first. That's why when Krishna went and saw, peeked in, and then that's when she opened her eyes. So that is her position. She is only meant to please, meant to serve Sri Krishna. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to appear to taste that rasa. He cannot be in that position to taste the rasa because you have to be in the position of Srimad Radharani to taste. That's why he had to take the position of Srimad Radharani. So that's why he's running. When he took sannyas also, he's running. And Katwa, I was reading from Chaitanya Bhagavat Madhya Leela, Rante Leela, chapter 1. Whole description of 200 plus verses describing how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ran like mad. He took even Keshav Bharati before he was jumping up and down with his sannyas guru. And he took him also, he danced with him together for days. Sometimes he disappeared and he went alone and crying like anything. Then devotees heard the voices. Then they went there and found Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then described. Then Akashvani gave the voice. Now all the devotees are disturbed. Mahaprabhu is going somewhere. He's not going to be here with us. Then Akashvani said, "Don't worry. 4 5 days, 1 week, Lord is going to come back." So then Lord came back to Jagannath Puri. So all this. It is a very wonderful pastime of this Radha and Krishna's pastime, especially hearing from the mouth of Gaudiya Vaishnava, especially from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's line. You hear from them, then you understand the position of Srimad Radharani and the confidential nature, how sweet it is. It gets more sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. You read Chaitanya Charitamrita through devotees also. If you read yourself, you will never understand this pastime at all.
So yeah, another question of expansion.
Yes.
So the exhibition of the gopis, the Lakshmi,
Yes.
and the queens of Radharani.
Yes.
How about Mother Sita? Does she come from one of the
Yeah, Mother Sita is also expansion of Srimad Radharani. Yes. 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 Any other questions, comments, corrections? You can ask when I mentioned the class. You can ask. Please go ahead if you have questions or comments. Feel free to ask. Yes, go ahead, Rajanath.
What was the reason for Abhimanyu Leela?
As I explained, right? So one is the cursing. So Radharani had to appear generally. So then obviously not of the Shantaras, not of Dasiras, not of Sakyaras, not of Vatsalas. It has to be Madhuriras. Then is Swakya and Parakya. If there is no marriage, then how will you have Parakyaras? So then he has to marry. There could be others, other pastimes. So I was in rush, so I didn't read enough. So there might be other. So what I told only to the extent I know, but there could be other. There are many interconnected pastimes why these leelas happen. So we have to thoroughly understand. So that is one way to look at Abhimanyu's pastime. The rasa increases. Bhava, as I mentioned, this in order to bhava to increase to the highest extent, there should be opposite parties. Jetila, Kutila, all of them has to be there. Otherwise, how will you increase the rasa? That's why there is a Krishna, like Krishna is telling, I don't like the chanting Vedas. I don't like so much about all of them. I like so much when the gopis are arguing, Chandra opposite groups are there. It increases competition. It increases rasa. Krishna releases. Dui lage huda hui. Prabhupada explains. Competition. Who's going to give more pleasure? So both ways. Lord Krishna and Radharani is left wing, right wing. Always competition is going on. So yeah, there are no other questions, comments. So we can conclude.